basically allowing the nutrients to be shuttled to our cells. Now, while this is going on in our system is trying to weed through everything that we're putting in our body, get it to where it needs to go. In no way, shape, or form are we capable of actually utilizing that nutrition or the food that we put in our body as fuel. So we cannot burn fat. We cannot do anything fat burning wise when insulin is elevated. Therefore, if we are eating 6 times throughout the day, every single time we eat, we spike insulin. So if our insulin's elevated and it never has time to come back to baseline for a good amount of time, or, that would be when we're doing our fasting state during intermittent fasting, then and only then can our body actually have time to burn the fat. So there's so many different techniques, and I'm sure a lot of people would fight me to the grave and say, well, that doesn't make any sense because I'm looking just fine and I eat 6 meals a day, and that's fine, but you want to look at the overall picture. So are you someone that's eating 6 meals a day, but you're also taking a boatload of supplements? If that's you, I want to know. And what are we? Stan, I know. Stan and I had this conversation, and so it's all relative to what you're doing, but in my opinion, I want to save money on food and supplements. So if you're someone that eats 6 small meals a day, not only are you having to waste a lot of time on Sunday meal prepping, but you're also wasting a lot of money in regards to buying your food. But not only that, all these people are taking pre-workouts, and then they're taking protein drinks, like 4 scoops a day. And then they're taking all these other pills, aminos. We're sipping on aminos all throughout the day. If you want to know what I consume supplement wise, I take one thing, which is my NRF2 activator. If you guys have not heard anything, Peggy's in the house. Drop some love, Peggy, because I'm hitting on the NRF2 activator that I take. So if you guys have not heard anything about that, drop a 4 in the comments and I'll send you some information. But that's a natural, it's basically turmeric, ashwagandha, milk thistle, green tea extract. So it's just a pill that has everything in it. But I do that every day, and I have my vegan protein powder. That's it. And I don't even need that. I mean, I take it because I like to make protein pudding, and I add some almond butter on top. It's like my dessert in the evening. So I'm not wasting a lot of money in regards to food, in regards to supplements, nothing. So to look at how simple intermittent fasting is, and I see the results, and I'm working out less, and I'm eating differently, and I see other people just killing themselves in the kitchen, and they're like 5 hours on Sunday meal prepping for the day. And then they're buying all these supplements, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, it's probably because you're eating your life away. You're eating your money away. So why don't we just look at the easier way? And sorry, I don't mean to get so in your face, because I know some of my videos might be a little bit harsh for those that don't agree with me, and some people that love to eat 6 small meals a day. That's great. Because I used to, but that's the thing is, I'm telling you, coming from someone that would wake up in the morning, I would run straight to the kitchen and I'd make my breakfast because I could not start my day without my big bowl of oats. And I would have, protein powder in there, so it was low glycemic at the end of the day. But even then, I was feeling lethargic. I couldn't wait until my next meal. I was counting down the hours. Oh my gosh, it's only been an hour. I gotta wait another hour. Oh my goodness. And do I have enough protein bars stashed in my car for the day? Do I have enough, at that point I was eating Greek yogurt. I mean, my whole day was consumed with like, what am I gonna eat? When am I gonna eat? I'm tired. I need more energy, so I need to eat. And when you shift over to the intermittent fasting, you're so efficient. Your cognitive function is so on point. Your body actually is able to heal itself, so you detoxify your body. I don't know if people realize that, but our body heals itself. It's not the crap that we put in it to help cleanse. I mean, yeah, that might help for a short-term fix, but our body heals itself, so we need to give it time, that we're not shoving a whole bunch of food in our system and our body's having to deal with that and our body, you know, cannot cleanse. The liver doesn't have time to cleanse when it's dealing with all the fat and everything that's put in the body, and it's trying to deal with the digestive process, you know. So just think in that regard, simple is better. Keep it simple, and you can save a lot of time, a lot of money. And if you ask anyone that's done this and they've given it, you know, a couple days, because the first couple days are a little difficult, yes, but once you get through that, people tell me every single time they have no clue what took them so long. They have no clue why they waited this long, and they will never go back. And you know, the days that I do, because sometimes on the weekends, if I'm making Presley her oats in the morning, I'm like, you know what? Today I'm just gonna eat some breakfast, and I will, and then I feel like crap. I so badly wish that I hadn't done it, because you know, your mind, everything is slowed down. I'm like in a fog when I eat, and I'm like, man, why did I do that? Why didn't I just wait until noon? So typically, look, I'm like right here, like ready to go. I'm counting down the minutes because it's almost time to break my fast, and I always make a big salad. So, and in my salad, I like to do kale. You know, I quit romaine just because I just felt like there was no nutrition. Like, I like to taste health. Like, I like kale because it's nice and hearty and green, and I love it. But I also, and part of my nails, I finally had time to take off my polish. And all you moms know, I can't really say dads because I don't think dads care so much about their nails, but all you moms know that, like, it's everything. Okay, finally, I had time to sit down and take the polish off and then file. So like every day is a different day, and then I'm hoping today I get to the polish, but no judgment, people, no judgment. So these power blends, they're my jam lately. I love crunchy salads. So I do a lot of kale, and this, I thought it was kind of funny because this brand is Man's brand, and then on the back it says that it is a woman-owned, where does it say? Woman-owned business, but it's Man's brand. I thought that was kind of funny. But the super blend, the superfoods. So this one has broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, red cabbage. This one has Brussels sprouts. This is more of my favorite. Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, kale, and carrots. So I mix it together. I get my Kirkland's pistachios. I load up pistachios on my salad. I make a homemade balsamic vinaigrette. And then I do oats because, you guys, I by no means am low carb at all. I'm just low glycemic. I balance my proteins with my carbs. I try to stay gluten-free if I can, so I get gluten-free rolled oats. I used to do steel cut, now I do rolled oats because actually there's more protein in the rolled oats than the steel cut oats, which is very strange to me. But I do that. I do a heaping scoop of my vegan protein powder. I do cinnamon, a little bit of butter, and I do melt butter or earth balance butter because I have shifted to more of a vegan lifestyle. And then some Himalayan sea salt, and I believe that is it. And that is like my 2-part meal. I always do a big salad with my greens, and I do my big hearty bowl of oats. Oh, and then I crush up some pecans, sometimes walnuts, but typically pecans because I love pecans. And if you didn't know, pecans out of all nuts are going to spike insulin the least. So they are the lowest glycemic nut out there, okay? So, any questions? There's a few of you still watching. Drop some questions before I hop off if I can answer anything. I know I missed some comments, but that's what I want to do. So that was the whole purpose behind this post, was to apologize to my previous clients that I used to tell that you need to kickstart your metabolism, you need to eat right when you wake up, and that's the best way to do it because I was wrong. But I also want to come on here and kind of debunk some of the myths that are out there in the fitness industry, because there's a lot out there, and there's a lot that I believed and I followed. And then once I started researching more and more and more, and then I started kind of, it's like trial and error with anything. So I would try things on myself and notice, okay, well, I'm not doing, because I used to think doing abdominal exercises before I went to bed every night was the reason why I had six-pack abs. And then what happened after I stopped is nothing. I still have abs and I'm postpartum. So it's, it's funny. Okay, so Stan's asking what the optimal window is, time of day. That's all relative to the person, what your schedule is, what like when you really like to enjoy food. So if you're someone that has a work schedule to where you don't get home until 7 o'clock at night, your hubby or your wife doesn't get home until 7, then you like to cook and then you like to eat together and you typically eat at 9 at night, then you want to push your eating window back. But regardless, there's all different windows. So some people do a 24-hour on, 24-hour off. I do not suggest that in the beginning at least. Now, once you've done intermittent fasting for a while, you can shift over to that because there are extreme benefits to doing like a longer fasting window. But for those new people, I always suggest a 16 to 8. So you are fasting for 16 hours, you're eating for 8 hours. The basic window that I give people that have like a regular work schedule is noon to 8. So I tell people in the beginning, 3 meals. You're gonna eat at noon, you're gonna eat at 4, you're gonna eat at 8. No snacking in between. I'm not going to get into the specifics about that. You can have things in between, especially like initially, but there's really one thing that you can have. And I have nutrition clients, so if you guys want to learn more, then reach out to me. But just based on the meal times, I always tell people 3 times, then cut it down to 2. If weight loss is your goal, you definitely want to do 2 big meals, and it's organically going to just happen that you shorten your eating window to 6 hours. Stan and I both agreed that initially we were doing an 8-hour eating window, and then you kind of like one day you're thinking, well, I only ate 2 meals today. I didn't want that middle meal. And really I shortened my eating window down to 6.5 hours, and I'm totally fine. So that's typically what happens for a lot of people. And then some people I tell, I'm like, wait until 1 o'clock to have your first meal and then push it back to 9. So 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And, it gets a little bit dicey when people are working third shift and, their sleep schedule is a little bit out of whack too. But, there's always a way to make it work. So, and again, the busier you are, that is all the more reason why you would like to do this plan. So anyone that has any questions, drop some love in the comments, questions in the comments. And I will be on here with more myths, and I am going to try to back it with science. So I know that I used to give you guys all the scientific proof because sometimes that's what people need to get it. But I know that there was a diabetic study done, and I'm trying to remember where it was. I'm killing it right off the bat because I can't remember. But anyhow, they had diabetics eating, a group had 6 small meals, and then the other one did intermittent fasting. They had 2 big meals. And that's another thing. These meals, you guys are going to eat more in each meal. We're not asking you to like just literally cut your calories in, like a 1/5 of the calories, because you need to consume the calories. But the diabetics and everything diabetic wise, it's all about keeping your blood sugar low and keeping your insulin low and regulated. And by far the intermittent fasting group did so much better. They had such a lower surge of insulin. Insulin stayed balanced level. It didn't have that spike, that rise and that fall, because blood sugar was balanced. So ultimately they lost more weight. They felt better. A lot of them were able to minimize their medication, if not get off of it. So many benefits, okay? So I'm gonna let you guys go at that. And Peggy says, eat to live, not to live to eat. And I agree. But I do live to eat a few things though, because I do like to eat. So have a good day, everyone. And if there's any kind of myth that you've heard, or you've heard something and you've lived by it, but you're curious, is this a myth? Is it not? Drop it in the comments and I will try to hit on it at some point. Thank you for watching. And oh, my sister just hopped on and I need to text